in between the center service mark and the outside of the doubles alley. Most ideally, stand in the middle of that area. That's not to suggest that Danny might not move a little bit to the right if he wants to create some more angle, or move a little bit closer to the center service mark to make it easier to serve down the middle, especially to a right-hander's backhand. But typically in the middle of this area. Why is that? Because he has to cover this half of the court. If he stands too close to the center service mark, if you were over here, Danny, and your opponent hits a successful angled return, you'll have a long way to go to get that ball. And even if you do, your partner Carlos is going to be playing 1 against 2. You want to be in the middle of the angle of where he can most likely hit the serve. Even within that context, you can move a little bit to the right or move a little bit to the left to show your opponents a slightly different look. The second position that we're going to discuss is where the server's partner ought to stand. A fairly good range of good would be halfway in between the center service line and the outside of the alley. This is an old-fashioned way I was taught 25 years ago, not 30. Touch the net 2 giant steps back. The idea is to be as far enough away from the net so you still have the ability to move forward once the point begins. One of the things that you will notice that Carlos does is when the serve is hit, he moves forward. If he recognizes that the returner is hitting through the ball, it behooves him to get closer to the net. If he senses that a lob might be coming, then he fudges backward a little bit. Now, the other thing that's really crucial in this position is that they shoulder to shoulder when they walk back before the point. They have discussed where Danny intends to hit the serve. And Carlos will have an idea. He's going to go down the middle. So when he hits the serve down the middle, Carlos is not going to simply stand here, but he's going to move a little bit with the ball. And do you see how that I've pivoted? So I'm hip square to where my opponent is hitting the return of serve. Similarly, if he's hitting a ball wide, he'll move a couple inches this way, but pivot so it's easy to cut off the ball in this direction, or if the returner serves tries to go cross court, to cut the ball off that way.